on here giving a quick little update with the Mario Galaxy movie. You guys know months ago we had that leak of the Old Spice where everyone in the Mario community thought it was fake and whatnot. We just kind of ignored it until it was proven to be real and it actually is a Mario Galaxy movie we're getting. Well, now it's making me be a little bit more open to some of the leaks coming out, and it looks like we might have gotten the plot for Super Mario Galaxy that reveals
the Resident Evil reboot is officially in the works, promising to restart the franchise with a fresh, horror-focused vision under Sony's banner and a completely new continuity. Directed and co-written by Zach Krager, known for Barbarian, alongside Shay Hatton, the film aims for a grounded, terrifying approach, following one central protagonist as they descend into a nightmare of suspense and survival horror, a clear departure from the action-heavy Paul W.S. Anderson films. While story details remain under wraps, the reboot is expected to draw from the franchise's rich 30-year game history, possibly adapting the original Resident Evil or Resident Evil 4, with an emphasis on atmosphere and fear over spectacle. Greta Gerwig's The Chronicles of Narnia.
For a Street Fighter.
Mortal Kombat 2. Tomorrow, we are actually going to be getting our first trailer for the movie. They already have a countdown in place set up on YouTube, so you can check for yourself when the trailer will drop exactly for you. But before we get that trailer tomorrow, we will release a 1-minute fake trailer for one of Johnny Cage's movies in the universe entitled Uncaged Fury. And look, let me tell you, I have had my doubts about Carl Urban portraying Johnny Cage. I just had a specific thought of how Johnny Cage should go, and whenever Carl Urban was cast, it's not that I don't think he's a good actor. I was just like, I don't know if I see him. After this 1-minute fake trailer, I am totally sold on his Johnny Cage. And a reminder, since this is a fake movie within the real movie, so don't be getting mad that the fight scenes don't look good or it looks cheesy and corny. It's doing that on purpose. This at least lets me know that they're going to lean into the fun of the Mortal Kombat world. And Carl Urban is going to be a huge standout and make me really enjoy this movie. Now I can't wait to see more of his version of Johnny Cage that's supposed to be an old washed up actor who only makes these kind of cheesy action movies. Once he gets told, hey, you have to join this tournament or else the world is in danger. Oh, that's a recipe for fun. So count me 100% in on Carl Urban's Johnny Cage, and I can't wait to see what kind of mayhem that trailer brings tomorrow. You know I'm for sure making a trailer breakdown on that, so say subscribe for that. The live-action Legend of Zelda movie, well, there's been a lot of fan castings for the movie, like Tom Holland playing Link or Hunter Schafer playing Zelda, which, yeah, I mean, she just looks like Zelda come to life. The actual people that they cast for the role is Bo Bergasson and Benjamin Evan Answorth, two actors that are basically unknown and are up and coming to play Zelda and Link. And also, this might actually be our first look of them in character in the movie. These photos were provided to us by Nintendo. They didn't specify if they're from the set of Legend of Zelda, but these photos are not from any previous work of the two actors. And if you look at Link's clothes, that feels like something that might come out of Legend of Zelda. So this could be what they end up looking like on camera. And dude, yeah, I might not know these actors. I'm not familiar with them, so I can't speak on how well they'll portray the role, but this does give me a lot more faith in the movie. When we look at what Universal did with their Nintendo adaptation of Mario, oh, they went famous actor galore. Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, and they just filled the cast with that. I was afraid Sony might do the same thing with their Legend of Zelda movie, is cast really big names and have that kind of carry the movie. But no, they didn't get big names. They're letting the brand itself carry the film, and that kind of lets me know that they're gonna take it seriously. They're gonna let the project speak for itself. And heck, for all we know, the villain Ganondorf could actually be played by a big name. Jack Black? It's time for you to shine. So yeah, I think this is good news. It's thrilling. I just hope we get more first look photos and maybe a more traditional costume for Link and Zelda. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. How are you guys feeling with them going with basically unknown actors for Legend of Zelda? Happy, or you think they should have gone with some more well-known names?
Movie 3, where we see Bomb, Chuck, Silver and Red in promotional marketing material for the film. We have already heard that the main plot line of Angry Birds Movie 3 is going to center around Red and Silver having a baby. I don't know how that's going to work in the context of the film, but that's what it's going to be about. One of the things that I'm very skeptical about is the fact that King Leonard is not going to be returning. I don't know how you make an Angry Birds movie without the pigs, but we'll see how it turns out. We are still quite a way way out until the film does release, though it isn't scheduled to come out until this December, but I do expect the marketing to start ramping up pretty soon.
Like the Hedgehog 4, which currently has a release date of March 19th, 2027. And honestly, when this article first came out, I thought that's what was happening, is that maybe they were moving Sonic another year or a couple of months. And then I saw, oh no, this is separate from Sonic 4. It's not Sonic 4. So it's like, oh, we finally have a release date for a Sonic spin-off movie. Wrong again. The way they are describing this Sonic movie, it's not a random Sonic spin-off film. It's something of the same level or bigger. Because this movie is being titled as an untitled Sonic event film.
Yet, Daniel RPK, who again has been a very reliable insider, is reporting that Blumhouse is already starting production on the third FNAF film, which honestly shouldn't come as that much of a shock. Like I said earlier, Matthew Lillard has already signed on for 3 FNAF films, and it's not like it's unusual that films that do really well get sequels greenlit very quickly. Based on Emma's comment earlier about the second FNAF film drawing heavy influence from the second FNAF game, and even from Scott himself that each
For Street Fighter 2023, another reboot was in development with a planned release date of October 16, 2026, and has a cast of actors which includes names like Noah Centineo as Ken, 50 Cent as Balrog, and Jason Momoa as Blanca. Looks like the next time we'll see Lara Croft in live action is in an Amazon series written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge and starring Sophie Turner, which is expected to start filming in January of 2026.
There's a Minecraft movie 2 coming out July 23rd, 2027, same day as Simpsons movie 2.
Famous production company Bad Robot has been working on a Portal movie since 2013 that's not officially cancelled, but certainly in development hell. Plants vs. Zombies began development in 2015 at Warner Brothers. Sony Pictures Animation acquired the rights to make a Roller Coaster Tycoon film in 2010. A producer in 2000. Paramount announced that they were working on a live-action animated hybrid film based off the indie game Monument Valley. The massive success of the mobile game Temple Run, Warner Brothers and Harry Potter producer David Heyman were in talks with the gaming developers in 2013 to adapt the idea into a film. And speaking of mobile games, Om Nom the movie would have been based on Cut the Rope.
Let the games begin.
Games that will now get the live action adaptation, and the first one they announced was a Horizon Zero Dawn movie. Now, if you're not familiar with this video game, let me give you a quick synopsis. It says here, in a primitive tribal world where strange, monstrous, animalistic machines roam the wilderness, a brave young female warrior goes on a quest to learn the truth about her mysterious origin and the state the world is in. Now, I am a place making a movie along with Sony Pictures is Helldivers. Now, this is a game that within the last few years got very popular. There's not really a story to this game. You're more dropped on a planet where there's these bugs, cyborgs, and you just have to try and survive as long as you can with a group of people. If I had to compare it to anything, it's a lot like the movie Starship Troopers, which is a film I really enjoy. And so for that reason alone, I'm kind of down to see what this movie could look like. Because of the very limited plot, they have a lot more potential to do something fun. So
we're gonna start with number 1, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima covers a samurai who must defend his hometown, Tsushima Island, from Mongol invaders. It's incredible and quite exciting how this game is getting adapted into a film very soon after its successful release back in July of 2020. Thankfully, it seems the film is in good hands after it was revealed by Chad Stahelski that he would be directing it. If that name isn't familiar to you, he's the guy who directed all the John Wick films. All that's known at the moment is the script is complete, and according to the director himself, filming should start soon. Keep in mind, this was stated back in early November of 2020. Gears of War. So if you watched my last video, I actually did mention how I wanted this to be a film, and turns out, yeah, this shit's been in the making for a minute. Gears of War follows a squad of soldiers attempting to save humanity from a genocidal alien-like enemy known as the Locusts. A Gears of War movie was confirmed to be in the process of development by Netflix back in 2022 after a long drought of development hell since 2007. Finally, good news was revealed as the seasoned and highly successful screenwriter John Spates has been chosen to write the script. For those unfamiliar, some of John Spates' work includes Doctor Strange and Dune. As of November 2023, the script was said to still be in development, and there is yet to be an assigned director on the film. Number 4. Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs covers a group of hackers within the near future by the name of DedSec who attempt to stop the oppressive ruling of a corrupt digital information system known as the CTOS. Ubisoft revealed the project had wrapped up filming in early June of 2024, and since then, the film is currently in post-production. Matthew Turi was assigned as director. His most well-known films include Meander, The Deep Dark, and Hostile. Number 5. Alan Wake. Alan Wake first released back in 2010 and follows the story of an author who makes an attempt to investigate the mysterious disappearance of his wife. In the midst of his goal, events from his novels begin to transpire in reality, hindering him from his goal and survival itself. The team behind the games, Remedy Entertainment, have partnered with Annapurna and announced an Alan Wake movie is currently in production. Unfortunately, other than this information, no new news has since been released. Number 7. Mortal Kombat is a post-apocalyptic open-world zombie game following a biker who's on a mission to find his presumed dead wife. Very little information about the project has been revealed. As of now, we know producers were looking into actor Sam Hugan to play Deacon St. John, the protagonist. We also know Sheldon Turner, responsible for working on the films X-Men First Class, Everest, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, will be in charge of writing this story. Number 9. God of War. 2018's God of War follows Kratos, a demigod and former Spartan, and his journey throughout the Norse mythology era with his son Atreus. Together, the two venture out on a personal quest that becomes bigger than they could imagine. PlayStation announced in 2022 that a live-action show is currently in the works and will release on Amazon's Prime Video. The showrunner assigned to the project will be Rafe Judkins, known for working on The Wheel of Time and Uncharted. God of War game director Cory Barlog will also notably be a part of the project as an executive producer. It is confirmed that the show will be retelling the story of 2018's God of War game. Now last but not least, number 10, BioShock. BioShock follows the story of a man who finds himself stuck in an underwater city by the name of Rapture, a once lively city built to separate society from the tensions and dangers of the outside world. Post-war, which has now fallen under the control of much more sinister occupation. As of October of 2023, the film is still having its script revised. The film will be released under Netflix, with producer Roy Lee leading the production. Some of Roy Lee's works include Death Note, Blair Witch, and The Strangers. He has stated himself that he plans to involve BioShock's original game director, Ken Levine, which is honestly good news, but we'll see, because we've also heard that the budget itself has been reduced from its initial plan, which is kind of worrisome, but I guess we'll find out. So
Firewatch.
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Firewatch was one of 2016's most captivating games. It was full of mystery, the characters were fleshed out and memorable, and the game was one hell of an emotional roller coaster. And to think, this game was only out for a few months before film adaptation was announced. In September 2016, developer Campo Santo announced they would be creating a Firewatch movie, in conjunction with production company Good Universe. They couldn't have chosen a better partner, as Good Universe has helped develop some critically acclaimed films, such as Neighbors, Don't Breathe, and more recently, The Disaster Artist. Too early for us to be excited?
How old are you?
Oh, wow, great age.
You're 19? Yeah. I just turned 14.
Wow, happy birthday.
Number 4, Raving Rabbits. Dragon's Lair. We don't know about you guys, but we feel this is way overdue. One of the most memorable things about Dragon's Lair was the whole game was kind of like playing an animated movie. It even spawned an animated series in the 80s. However, movie studios weren't interested. Thankfully, original Lair animator Don Bluth and fellow great Gary Goldman launched a Kickstarter in 2015 to finally produce an animated feature. Unfortunately, their target wasn't met, but when they moved the campaign to Indiegogo, it saw positive feedback, making twice its goal. No release date has been set, but knowing the team's past work in animated films, we can't wait.
How is it that you know what Grand Duchesses do or don't do?
I make it my business to know.
Oh.
Number 8, Just Cause.
I never really thought about Trico, but there's a difference between you look and you see.
If we had to summarize the experience of the Just Cause series in 2 words, we'd choose explosive and exciting. So, If you've been craving to see Rico Rodriguez blow up more stuff than a Michael Bay film, you'll be happy to know that a Just Cause film has been in development since 2010. Progress has been a little slow, but so far, it looks promising. Jason Momoa has been cast to play Rico Rodriguez, and Brian Edward Hill is penning the script. We'll also have Brad Pate directing the movie, who already has a video game-based movie on the way. Anyone else ready for Rampage?
Is it me or is he considerably bigger?
No, he's definitely bigger.
Number 7.
I wanted to be a killing machine, and they made me one.
The Call of Duty franchise has had some memorable campaigns over the years. Memorable characters, on the other hand, not so much. So, please excuse us if we're a little befuddled as to why a Call of Duty cinematic universe is in the works. While no major details have been solidified as of the time of this recording, the director...
Just new game, Tetris.
We're just as confused about this as you are. How do you make a movie about blocks that fall from the sky and disappear when they make a complete row? Well, apparently, Larry Kasanoff sees potential for an epic sci-fi adventure. The CEO of Threshold Entertainment describes the story as being so big that it calls for a trilogy. Production started in 2017, and the film is estimated to cost around $80 million. However, given that Kasanoff's recent film was the notorious animated film Food Fight, we might end up buying our tickets with extreme caution.
I know, Dan.
Hello Neighbor is going to be turned into a movie, and it's going to be written by the same person who brought us Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh man. And then a horror movie that was announced here that came out of the blue that, you know what, I'm pretty excited about is Deadline here reported that the survival horror video game Poppy Playtime will be turned into a feature-length movie. If you're not familiar with the game, the synopsis goes as in the game, a former employee of Playtime Co. receives a cryptic message on a VHS tape. The tape prompts him to revisit an abandoned Playtime toy factory following the mysterious disappearance of their entire staff. From the point forward, the goal of the game is to explore the factory by solving various puzzles while avoiding terrifying enemies in order to uncover the mystery of what happened to this missing staff. Some of y'all might be familiar with watching other YouTubers do gameplays of this because it's very terrifying and fun, but also on the Pokemon series in the works with Netflix. On here too, another video game movie adaptation in the works here, and this is looking pretty solid, if I do say so myself. What we have here is Deadline reporting that Oscar Isaac is set to star as Solid Snake in Sony's Metal Gear Solid movie. Now, if you don't know about this, is one of the most popular games ever made here, Metal Gear Solid, that has been around since 1998 on the PlayStation, and is also a game that I've never played, please forgive me. But it is finally getting the live action treatment, and getting Oscar Isaac to play Solid Snake, yo, that's not a bad choice right there. To add some talent like him, like my go-to if you want to know how great of an act Oscar Isaac is to watch the movie Ex Machina. Even though I haven't played the games, I've heard countless people just praise this game, say how good it is, the storyline, so it was only a matter of time before it got this. And now Oscar Isaac attached is definitely a good sign for me. I just hope it turns out being one of the better video game movies. We've kind of broken through that curse of video game movies being bad. I mean, moving on from there, Netflix is making some big moves here in their content creation platform, and they went ahead and announced that Assassin's Creed is gonna get a live action TV series for the platform as part of their deal with Ubisoft. Now, I'll just say straight off the bat, I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan. I have reports coming in that they are wanting to make another World of Warcraft live action movie. That's all the information that is coming out right now, is that there is another World of Warcraft movie putting in the works, but it looks like things are headed where it's more of a sequel to the last World of Warcraft movie that we got that was directed by Duncan Jones. Even though I'm not a World of Warcraft fan, just because I've never played the video games, I did find some enjoyment out of that live action movie that we got. I thought not only were the visual effects of Sims, congratulations, because you guys are not only getting one movie, you are getting 2 movies. According to Geeks Worldwide, which have had a good reputation for getting scoops in the past of stuff that has come to fruition in Hollywood, they're reporting on, like I said, 2 Sim movies coming out in the near future. Breaking down the first project that seems to be the priority right now, and the one we'll probably get first, is an adaptation of Sim City. Now, believe it or not, the Sim franchise has multiple games that have different methods of playing it, and Sim City is all based around building a city as big as you you can, as successful as you can, instead of more personal characters that you get to control. The idea for this movie is being described as, for the second Sim movie in development, is based more on the traditional gameplay of the Sim video games, in where we'll be following a teenage girl who plays the video game Sims, living this double life until what happens in the video game starts merging into her reality. We've kind of known this idea for a Sim movie for a while now, because if you haven't heard, when Disney acquired Fox Studios, they canceled these projects from being made, having them now move to Lionsgate Studios. So we'll see if these things are even or winner, but I don't think they're going to come close to my boy Sonic the Hedgehog. Diving now into Mega Man movie is in the works.
Goku is one of Nintendo's most popular characters. As we are due to get a Super Mario movie by Illumination next year, it was only a matter of time before Hollywood made a Crash Bandicoot feature. Details are sparse on what the film will be about, and if the rumours are even true, but if the rumours are to be believed, expect it to follow the game's basic plot of Crash attempting to stop evil Dr. Neo Cortex from taking over the world. It's very likely that the rumours of a Crash Bandicoot movie could be fake, but multiple sources have reported on the project, so I thought it deserved a mention in this video.
Massive success of the FNAF movie, the floodgates have officially opened. And now, it looks like Bendy and the Ink Machine is the next horror game to take a shot at conquering Hollywood. Today, Joey Drew Studios and the entire
thought this project was dead in the water, but now it looks like Legendary is officially moving ahead with Detective Pikachu 2. In this breaking news announcement, Deadline has reported that Portlandia co-creator Jonathan Crystal is in negotiations to direct the sequel. It's said that Chris Gallida will write the script for the follow-up to Legendary's global box office hit. Since its creation in the Pokemon franchise has been beloved by all generations around the globe, it has become a major part of pop culture with an immense amount of video games. A former game featuring a lone cat navigating a futuristic metropolis captured the hearts of gamers, immediately going viral thanks to the internet's insatiable feline fascination. Fast forward to now, and Annapurna's animation studio is set to bring us an animated film inspired by the most renowned cat-centric game of 2022. Recent reports, a Donkey Kong solo movie is reportedly in development, with actor and comedian Seth Rogen attached to produce and potentially star in the film. While details on the project remain scarce, it is said to be separate from the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Movie, in which Rogen will voice the...
I'm reading an article from comicbook.com, and they claim that Legendary Entertainment is allegedly working on another live-action movie. And this is going to be based on the games Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, the classic original game for the Game Boy, the one that came out in the 90s. So the idea for this shared universe is that each movie is going to have some sort of different taste and flavor, with Detective Pikachu being more of a comedy, this being kind of whimsical, and the supposed Mewtwo live-action movie being very, very dark. And I'm very intrigued with this Red and Blue movie, because the original game was...
The stealth action adventure Sly Cooper released its first game in 2002. Then a decade later, it was revealed a movie based off the series was in development, and the need for a Need for Speed sequel, despite one being announced shortly after the first film's release. Even though it only made $200 million worldwide, 66 of that came from China, so the intention was for EA and the China Movie Channel Program Center to co-produce the second entry, filming most of it in that country. However, the Far Cry game, the box office of the 2008 movie, was a far cry from success. The film only made $743,000 on a budget of $30 million. So instead of getting a sequel, in 2013, game developer Ubisoft announced that they would not only be rebooting the first-person shooter, but also be making a Watch Dogs and Rabbids film. However, as for Rabbids, that was going to be animated over at Sony Pictures Animation with an expected release date of late 2016. But for unknown reasons, this never got made and the rights moved to Lionsgate. By 2022, 80 seconds of test footage was released online, which kind of has a Minions vibe to it, though this was the last we heard about that project. An instant success. However, the following year, it was confirmed that a live-action TV series was in the works over at Amazon, looking to adapt the Norse era of the games. Writers had been hired and were in the process of penning the scripts, but by late 2024, the studio wanted to go in a different direction, so those writers left and they're now starting again. Although it does look like they are still moving forward with some kind of version of the God of War series, which wouldn't be surprising due to the popularity of the games.